Hello, everyone, and welcome to Women in Literature 2021. This is an all female literary festival hosted by Sabine Muzaffar, who is the founder of Ananke. Today, I have with me a very special guest. This is Zahra Hameed, author of The Burning Champa, which is Pakistan's first non fiction poetry book surrounding mental illness, body positivity, and relationships. Zara is a creative director, content creator, writer, poetess, spoken word artist, and positive living activist. A gold medalist in mass communications with over 20 years of experience in branding, advertising, concept, strategy, creative writing, editorial design, print journalism, television, social media, fundraising, fashion magazines, interior design, packaging, and events. Zara is an advocate for body positivity, mental health, and has her own social media platform on Instagram and Facebook called Divane Zara. Zara, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm so honored to be a part, and so thank you for having me.
Now, Zara, you've written The Burning Champa. Can you tell us what it was like for you? What inspired you to write it?
Well, Mehr, I have been struggling with my mental health. I'm bipolar 2, body positivity, and issues of motherhood, all of these things in my life. And the pen has always been my friend. And I have always, used whatever it is that is happening in my life experiences as an inspiration to write.
Sure.
And poetry is something that comes naturally to me. It's an expression that I am most comfortable in, writing in English, writing poetry. And all these experiences and challenges of life turned into me being pregnant with myself and really sort of thinking about all the things that have happened and how I have dealt with them through gratitude, and wanting to sort of, put that message out there for other people so that they too can feel inspired to share their real life story.
Absolutely. Now, Zara, you mentioned being pregnant with yourself, but your work, is it a chronological journey, or did you just write however you felt and whatever came to you at any one particular moment in time, and then you compile them together?
Meher, absolutely, it was very much like that. That whenever I was going through different experiences, because I've been journaling for a long time, since as far as I can remember, since school. So I was writing in my journals, I was writing in my poetry journals as things were happening to me, as I was going through motherhood, as I was going through struggles in my relationship, as I was going through issues with mental health. I was writing about them, but I'd sort of never really put them all together in one place. And COVID kind of, gave us all this unique opportunity to sort of look inwards and really sort of search for peace. And for me, that natural creative expression was writing poetry. So I started putting down my poems, and they appear in the book in a form of a chronological order, just to make it easier for people to understand the journey.
Sure, sure. Now, Zara, this is Pakistan's first non-fiction poetry book concerning so many issues that are considered taboo in Pakistani society, and yet you've bravely tackled them on. How easy was the publishing process for you?
Man, the publishing process was quite tough because I mean I remember I wrote, put the book together, and I started sending it to different publishers who are
Yeah.
well-known publishers in Pakistan. I even sent them to some publishers and agents in India, but everybody was of the opinion that does not have an English poetry does not have a big market, and that I should work in fiction, or produce a book like a coffee table book. But I just felt that. I felt quite sad initially and quite, discouraged. But then I kept moving on, and I met you, and I got to know you through your book, which is the fashion book that you've done with Saad Sarfaraz, and you've done a brilliant job of it. And then, I got to share my work with you, and you were the first person who read it and immediately said, "This is such important work, and it needs to find a space and an outlet, and it needs to be published." So thanks to you, Meher. I sort of got onto the publishing journey, and we were able to publish this book. I was able to discover that I can draw illustrations. So I illustrated the book. The book is illustrated by me, the cover and the inside pages. And then it was amazing that so many other people came on board. For example, Nadia Jamil, who is a friend, she is an actress, a child activist, came on board as an editor. Zebunisa Barki, who is a well-known journalist from the news, also came on board as an editor. So I had two brilliant women editing it. And then I had you as publishing it. Then later on in the journey, we had Nuria Iqbal from Labor and Love. She also came on board to design the tote bag with us for the launch. And we were very lucky to have a physical launch in COVID, which was an outdoors launch. So it's been really, really a brilliantly put together effort by a lot of women, strong women, women of substance, women who are, all sort of working together towards a shared goal of promoting an authentic voice. So
Absolutely.
I'm very, very lucky in that respect.
Absolutely. Now, I love the fact that you brought up the concept of all these women coming together. Do you feel, generally speaking, Zara, that in Pakistan at least, or even globally actually, that there are more male writers tackling these issues, whether it's marriage, whether it's relationships, whether it's children, whether it's mental illness, whether it's body positivity, than there are women? Or do you feel that women just aren't getting the chance?
I think men have been writing and write with more abandon than women. That's
Yeah,
how I feel. What I mean by that is that men have more freedom in Pakistan to express themselves and write about things that maybe women feel uncomfortable or not supported when they write about it.
sure.
So for sure, I think there is that space where women are not encouraged to talk about or pick up topics that are not ordinarily shared. I mean, people expect if you're writing a book or a poetry book that, especially from a woman's perspective or a real life narrative, that it will be about pleasant things only, you know,
Yes,
and we will not bring up anything that sort of, defies the status quo and talks about, pertinent things or things in the news like abuse,
yeah,
or like, harassment, or other more stronger issues like family problems, joint family systems, how they affect us, motherhood, body dysmorphia, eating disorders,
absolutely.
body image, all of these issues. I feel we are not sort of encouraged to openly have a dialogue about it or write about
Absolutely.
it. So
Absolutely.
for sure, I feel very supported. I feel supported now because I had a group that supported me while I was writing or publishing rather. So I hope this is inspiring for women. And the book, The Burning Champa, is really an attempt to get this dialogue and this journey going.
Absolutely. One of the striking things about the Burning Champa has been, Zara, that although it's written about you, your life, your experiences as a woman, interestingly, men have connected with this book as well. We've had men come up to you, to me, to us, saying that, you know what, I relate with this book as well. There are many issues in which I feel that I have experienced them and I feel validated. How interesting is that? Don't you think that even men are now admitting to having these similar experiences, and your book is one of the first ones in Pakistan which is actually got not just women, you know, writing in or reaching out and saying that this is my ye meri kahani hai, this is my story, but you've also got men. And I think for the first time this is a book that's addressing both men and women, even though it is a story predominantly about a woman, which is you.
Yes, I've been really pleasantly surprised because even at the launch and even otherwise, I mean, people have got in touch from all over the world, men and women. Women especially understand it because it's a women's perspective, and that's why they feel like it's their story. The men feel like they need to get to understand women on a deeper level, and it's giving them that insight into a
Yes,
woman's world and her thoughts and her emotions and her true feelings with an authentic, in an authentic way. So I'm really, really honored and humbled that people are, both men and women, have responded so well to the Burning Champa.
absolutely. I mean, it's such an important book, and the issues that you've spoken about, that you've written about, they are important because for so long there's been this blanket surrounding all of them that we don't talk about it, everything is fine, you don't discuss it. And the fact that you've come out all guns blazing, and you're saying, well, here I am and I'm going to talk about it, it it's not just validating people, it's also pushing for much needed creative space. For example, you did your own illustrations yourself. That's unheard of, where you have the written word and you have illustrations both in the same book by the same person, especially in non-fiction, and that too in poetry. So that's a lot of us, Zara.
I know. It's been, Mehr, I swear, once I got into the writing part and the design part of it, I realized that, all my own experiences as a creative director, as somebody who's worked in media, and my own sort of creative streak was finally being put to use for myself because I've been helping others for years, in their journeys, in their creative journeys, whether it was in advertising or television or magazine journalism. But now I was finally creating a book for myself and for others. And
Absolutely.
so it's really a labor of love,
Yes.
and it's a labor of discovery. And I discovered that that I could draw, and it's something is that I've really enjoyed as a process, because I feel that the illustrations are as important as the poems.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you've also had two other major impacts apart from validating the Pakistani nation, so to speak. You've also sort of had a national campaign with a fashion retail, one of Pakistan's oldest fashion retail brands, Generation. And the impact was visible when the clothes that you were modeling as a plus size model and the book that had been featured on their platform as well, Generation, that collection just sold out. And that just showed how people wanted to connect with you, Zara, through the power of clothing. They wanted to look like you, they wanted to be you, they wanted to own something similar to you. And then you had a song with Rakeh Jameel as well, in which we had a meditation at the launch, which was so beautiful because people from all walks of life were connecting.
Yes, Generation has been an amazing journey, because Khatija and her team are somebody who are very sort of who believe in women's empowerment, have been supporting women's voices and
Yeah.
diversity and body positivity in their brand.
Mm.
So it was a first for them also to sort of combine body positivity with the written word,
Yeah.
and they were supporting the literary arts. This was the first time they were actually, featuring a book along with their clothes and along with promoting mental health and body positivity. So it was a first of its kind, and I was
Absolutely.
again very, very humbled that they, wanted to be on with us in collaborating for this calls. And the response again was so good. The generation asked me to model for them again, and write for them,
Absolutely.
like a poem dedicated to them.
A World
So
Poetry Day.
it's been it's so yes, the written word. I'm somebody who was my one of my first jobs, Mehr, was as a spoken word artist.
Yeah.
So I was a voiceover artist, and that was my first job as a young teen, and I used to do that and write articles. Those were the two things that I used to do. So for me, again, it's like coming full circle. With Rake also, and the song which we're working on, the video which we will be releasing soon. The whole
Wonderful.
point is to sort of create a space where the written word is supported through music, it's supported through culture, through fashion, the arts. So really, really, we're very sort of. I have been very, very fortunate to have this kind of support and collaboration on all these levels and in all these spaces and fields.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Zara, we're almost nearing the end now. So would you please read us a poem?
Of course, I would love to. Um, Today, the poem that I wanted to read for you is called The Pakistani Woman.
Sure. Go for it.
Please, just one second. So, this is The Burning Champa, Diwani Zara, and this is published by Zuka Books and Meher's brilliant company. The poem that I'm going to read to you is called A Pakistani Woman.
Yeah.
From the day she is born, From the day she is born, she is safe nowhere. Not on the street, not in her locked car, not with her children, not in her own house, not in her own bed, not hiding in a chadar. No matter what we wear, how educated we are, which class we belong to, a Pakistani woman is safe nowhere. We are gang raped daily through men's relentless gaze, their stares, their attempts to touch, their accidental approaches, their harassment at school, home, and work. A Pakistani woman is safe nowhere, not in a pair of jeans or a burqa. The more we conceal, the greater the mystery and titillation for the viewer to unearth. From public transport to our cars, we cannot even walk the street, cycle, ride a motorcycle, or a rickshaw in our own city safely and confidently. Bury her at birth, they used to. We bury her alive every day and look away. Another statistic, another faceless name. So that was the Pakistani woman. I know it's quite heavy. I wrote
Here's
it
the thing.
because
Here's the thing, Zara.
I feel that Pakistani
What you were
women,
saying is a story of women
as
all over the
educated
world.
and advanced as they are and intelligent as they are, there's a question of safety that we feel every single day that is at stake when we sort of go out of our homes. So I
Absolutely.
hope you enjoyed listening to that, Meher.
Absolutely, I loved it. And what struck me was that this is a story not just of a Pakistani woman, but of women globally. We're all in the same boat. We're all fighting against the same um, oppressive systems, the patriarchy. And it is through the written word that I truly believe that women will make a difference.
Absolutely, Meher. I'm so honored and so humbled that I have had this amazing opportunity today to talk to you about the Burning Champa by Divani Zara and Zuka Books. And Anand K has done a great job with organizing this. Sabine and her team,
Absolutely.
uh, uh, you know, So I'm very honored, and thank you so much for having me here today.
Not at all. Thank you, Zara, for joining us, and thank you, Ananke and Sabine, for giving us a platform. Take care, everyone. See you in the next session. Goodbye. Thank you,
Take
Zara.
care. Thank you.